When you're looking at the exams for CFA, we have levels 1, 2 and 3 as I've mentioned. June and December you can take the level 1 exam at any point of time. Level 2 can be taken in June only, and level 3 also you can appear for written June exams in June month only. Generally the exams takes place on the first Saturday of the month, so whatever be the date. In 2018 they've made a little change where the June exam is taking place on the 23rd of June. So otherwise the exams generally take place on the first Saturday of the month. Even if you give the exam in December, let's say December 2018, you can give June exam 2019 and 2020. So the earliest I've told you already, the earliest you can complete is in 1.5 years, or even if you do it June, June and June, so within a 2-year gap, you will be able to complete the entire curriculum. When you're looking at the exam pattern, level 1 exam is going to be 120 MCQs each. So you will have an exam from 9 AM to 12 PM, and then the second half from 2 o'clock to 5 PM. So each of the levels will have the same format in the sense that there is only one day exam on a Saturday. 9 to 12 is your morning paper and 2 to 5 is your afternoon paper. So level 1 is this, level 2 is this, and level 3 is this. On the first Saturday of December and June you can give your level 1, but level 2 and level 3 can be only given once a year, that is in the month of June. Correct? The exams are going to be a 6-hour exam broken into 3 hours each. So 9 to 12 is one paper, 2 to 5 is one paper. When you're looking at level 1, it is going to be 120 MCQs and 120 MCQs. Now 120 MCQs might sound to be a little too much to do, but time management is generally not a problem in level 1. Level 2 becomes a little bit of a problem, I'll explain, and level 3 becomes a little bit of an issue with respect to time management. But I'll give you all the tricks and techniques and all, so it should not be that big an issue. 120 MCQs is going to be divided into all the 10 subjects. So you'll be appearing for all the 10 subjects in the first half as well as the second half. The subjects will not be jumbled up. So the first 18 questions will be of ethics. We have the weightage decided. So the first 18 questions have to be from ethics. 14 questions have to be from cons. All those things are there. You don't have to take it down. Don't worry. You'll have 12, I think 10 or 12 questions. You'll have 24 questions over here. Here you have, I think, about 6 questions or so, 4 questions or so. So the total breakup of 120 questions is given. You need to give the exam for all the 10 subjects in the first half and the evening half, afternoon half both. Total 240 questions. There are only 3 options in the question. There is no negative marking, but the questions will be conceptual. The questions can be numerical and theoretical both, as in numerical and non-numerical, but don't expect a question as to tell me 3 advantages, tell me 3 disadvantages types. So even if the question is non-numerical, it is absolutely analytical. Which ratio will increase or decrease in the following situation, something like that. So the questions will be very, very analytical, and numerical as well as non-numerical questions will be tested. The level of difficulty, again, all those things I'll discuss. The difficulty level is going to be a mix. So you can't expect all 120 questions to be like extremely crazy difficult. There won't be, all the questions will be very easy. You'll have your set of easy questions, difficult questions, standard questions. So all those things I don't think is a criteria right now. So how exactly you're supposed to be preparing for the exam? 1 month before the exam, I'll do another half-an-hour session how exactly you're supposed to be attempting your paper. Because for every subject, I'll give you tricks and all, so we'll do it then. Before 1 month before the exam, I'll tell you how to start your revision. 15 days before the exam, I'll tell you how to attempt your paper. So all those things will be taken care of. It is 120 MCQs, no negative marking, 3 options each. So of course, you're going to be attempting everything. Time management is not an issue. 180 minutes for 120 questions. You have about 1.5 minutes per question. Time management will not be a problem. The result that you will be getting is going to be combined for both. So it's not like you have to pass in morning half and afternoon half separately. You will be given scores of all the 10 subjects. So the score of ethics will be 18 questions in morning and afternoon together. So the score of ethics will be from 36 questions that you've attempted. So that is how your results are going to be out. Your result is not separate for morning or afternoon. It is subject wise. So of course, both the morning and afternoon will be combined together. All the exam rules and regulations, I'll get back to it later. When you're looking at level 2, you have 60 MCQs and 60 MCQs over here. Now what happens with respect to level 2 is, in the exam paper, you are supposed given a full passage of, let's say, 2 pages or 1.5 pages or so. And then you have question 1 and 3 options. Question 2, 6 MCQs and 3 options on this case study. So this is known as an item set. So you will have 10 item sets of 6 questions each. That will give you 60 MCQs in the morning half and 60 MCQs in the evening half. So the number of questions is halved, but time management is going to be a little bit of an issue. It's not that you have to write for 3 hours, you have to continuously think for 3 hours. So it's mentally quite exhausting when you give the exam. But of course that's not a reason to back out, right? So anyway, so you have 60 MCQs and 60 MCQs and they are going to be item sets. So it's going to be a case, and on the basis of that you'll have 6 MCQs each and there will be 10 item sets. When you're looking at level 3, this is going to be the same. You'll have 60 MCQs in the evening half, but in the morning half you have the essay type questions. Now when I'm saying essay type questions, with respect to the Indian exams, you have an assumption that we have to write long answers of 4 or 5 pages and all. That is not the case. Even over here what happens is, you will have a 1 page, 1.5 page case study or something. It's not like a case study, just that a situation is given and you need to answer on that. And then they will have a template. They will tell you whether it will increase, decrease or remain the same. You have to circle one of the options and you have to write 2 reasons for it. So it is like our objective type questions, 2 marks, 3 marks, 4 marks. And you won't have a 100-mark paper, you will have a 180 minutes they call it. So 180 minutes paper. So technically your writing speed has to be good, your reading speed has to be very good, your analytical speed has to be very good. So level 3 morning half becomes a time constraint. This is not so much of an issue. Evening half is the same as level 2, but the morning half, the essay type question is not writing essays. It is analysis and writing those objective type answers. And you will be given templates. So your boxes and all will be made. You just have to write 2 points. And you don't have to write extensively that the 2 points for this is as follows. So it is like you need the answers and you cannot beat around the bush. Like in the college exams and all at times we do, you cannot do all that rubbish over here. Either you know it or you don't know it. So that is going to be your exam pattern for levels 1, 2 and 3. And anyways, how to attempt this essay and all, once you come to level 3, I'll do that. With respect to your results, how do you get the results? Prior to 2017, June, the results used to be given in a different format. I'll just tell you that also. So basically what we used to have is, the subjects are given and then there used to be column below 50, 50 to 70 and the scores above 70. And they used to put like ethics I got between 50 to 70, quants I got below 50, economics I got above 70. So they would put an asterisk and they would give you the score like that. Now what they've done is, from 2017 December, June 18 and onwards, they have started giving a percentile kind of a score. So for each of the subjects, they tell you where you are standing with respect to all the other candidates. Where you are standing with respect to all the other candidates. So it is a percentile. So are you in the top 10% performing candidates? Are you between 70 to 90 or so, between the passing range and 90%, or are you below those? So they have started giving you percentile. There is no exact rule that I can tell you that you have to get so many correct answers and you will pass. So we don't have a passing criteria as such. I cannot exactly tell you that you have to pass in so and so subject, this is the marks you need, this is the passing rate, so that is not available. A basic thumb rule that we use is that you need to try and answer 70% questions correctly. So out of 120, I would want at least to have 84 questions correctly done. That is the thumb rule we use. There is no criteria that the institute gives us. The second thing is, with respect to subject-wise scores, it's fine if you maybe get a 50% in one subject, but then we don't want you to get a 10% in one subject. That will create a problem. So you cannot say that I'll leave out quants and I'll do all the other subjects, I'll get a 0 here and 100% there. That will not work. So that is why when I start with your classes and all, I will discuss that in alternate investments you have 4 questions. I will make sure that you people are practicing alternate investments very well, because the moment you make more than 2 mistakes, you are in a very bad category over here. But in FRA you have 24 questions. Even if you make 5 mistakes, you're still in a good position probably. So all those tricks and all we'll be doing as to how to strategize your exam. But the best strategy is understand everything, study everything. That's it. That's all you need to do. You have to understand everything. So those things we'll discuss, so that which one is more important to practice and all those things will come in, but that is basically a passing criteria. The next thing is, say for example, if someone does not clear the exam, then they are giving in a band. Band 10 means that if for those who have not cleared, you're divided into 10 parts, you are 10. 10 is the closest to passing. So pass, then band 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, that is how. So I'm just telling you exactly what the terms and all they use. Of course, we are hoping that we will not be able to, we will not be seeing that part. Then when you're looking at the passing rates, so approximately 35 to 45%, somewhere in between 35 to 45, about 38% or so is the passing rate for level 1. Level 2 it increases slightly, somewhere close to 42 or so, and level 3 again it increases somewhere between 45 and 50, 55 or so. It will be somewhere more of 45 related. So your passing rates are as such. So just don't think that passing rate is 35-40%, so I will pass very easily, because maybe the other courses the passing rates could be low, because with the kind of money you're spending, everybody is studying. Nobody gives this exam for time pass. So nobody's just registering and then they are deciding, okay, I'll give if I feel like I will not give. Everybody is studying very hard. And out of the 35%, 38% people who pass level 1, of that 45% people or 42% people pass in level 2. And out of those people, 45% people are passing level 3. So there is no substitute to hard work. So if you're going to take things lightly and all, you'll not enjoy the content. You have to start enjoying what you're doing over here. So passing and all those things comes in later, but I know a lot of curiosity is there with respect to this. So this is your passing related information. Time crunch I've told you. With respect to exam deferral, so now once you register for the exam, you will get your admit card. With respect to the mistakes that you make with admit card, I'll just tell you later once you're done with your registration all around the exam time. But you know, there are issues like exam time, during the exam time your passport is lying in the visa office because you're planning a trip after your exam. Don't do all that. You need the exam, your passport on the exam date. I've seen all these issues happening with students. So all those problems that happen, I'll give it to you in advance. But make sure your name is written correctly on the passport. Your passport has not yet expired. In case the passport is going to be expiring between the registration date and exam date, you register with a not expired passport. Then you give it for renewal so that it comes back before the exam date. That is, on the registration date your passport needs to be valid, and on the exam day your passport needs to be valid, on both the registration date and the exam date. So for those who do not have the passport, immediately apply. If there is any mistake you've made, please make sure that when you're filling in your registration on the website and all, institute's website, you're putting in all the information correctly. Because a lot of people don't even read the question. Have you been a part of felony? No. Have you done this? No. Have you done this? No. And then some question you are supposed to mark yes, they will also mark that no. So please, you have to be alive, and you have to take these things seriously. You cannot be so casual, because I see a lot of people have become very overly casual, and so that you cannot do. You have to be a little alert when you're registering on the website, on the institute's website. Your name and all should be correctly done. If you have any clarification or confusion that my last name is given first and first name later in the passport, those issues are there, please mail the institute and coordinate with the institute. They reply within 1 or 2 working days. So you mail, coordinate with the institute and get all those sorted and get your registrations done. So, and with respect to deferral, in case you're falling ill before the exam or something, you have to scan all your reports and everything, all your doctor's reports and prescriptions and everything, mail it to the institute in case there is any problem, and they may or may not defer your exam. There is no deferral policy as such for the institute. If they are convinced and if they are okay with it, they might defer, otherwise they may not defer. You have to choose the exam location also. You can choose a location anywhere. So the place in which you are doing a job or your home or whatever it is, you can select the city. Make sure that you're selecting and registering on time, because I've had students who are trying to register on the last date, then there's some problem with the credit card and you don't have even a day's time left. So it becomes a major problem. So please make sure that your registrations are done on a timely basis with respect to your exam registrations. Don't do it on the deadline. Do it at least a week in advance of the deadline. Because at times making forex transactions and all, there are issues with the credit card. Another thing with credit card, suppose you have a 50,000 rupees limit with a credit card and the amount chargeable is going to be 1 lakh rupees. In most of the cards, I cannot give a guarantee, in most of the card what happens is, you make a payment of 50,000 rupees in your credit card. So the balance automatically becomes 1 lakh. You have a 50,000 balance. You pay 50,000 first, so the balance becomes 1 lakh, and then you make the institute payment. Mostly it works. 99% I believe it should work. For the video students, I cannot personally make payments on your behalf. For the live students, if you do not have a credit card or if there is a problem in making the institute's payment, you can get back to me, you can get back to the coordinator post class and we'll help you out with that. So we can get that done. So she'll tell you exactly how to go about it, and we'll help you out with that. But for the video students, because it becomes very difficult to track and do the registration on your behalf, you can always take a credit card or something from your relative and all in case there is a problem and get it registered. The only problem that happens is you need to give them in check. Nobody is going to accept cash and then make the payment on your behalf on their credit card. You have to make the payment in check. and you have to make the exact payment. So then nobody will have a problem. So just in case you don't have a card, you can do that. But that is your exam pattern, timing and pass rate and all, and exactly how you need to crack the exam, we will do that before the exam. So how you're supposed to be attempting the paper. The rough work will be done on the question paper itself. So you will not be allowed to bring the question paper home. OMR sheets will be there, you need to circle all those. So all those small issues, small details with respect to your exam, I'll discuss it later once we are close to the exam. And once we start studying, so you'll have an idea. So that's about your exam.